In 1974, almost 40 years ago, with the advent of Dungeons & Dragons, I became one of the early adopters of that game, and I created elaborate D&D campaigns for my friends. Even before the advent of personal computers, and specifically the Apple II, I began to create some of the first computer role-playing games based on my D&D worlds. And after 28 versions written on a teletype, I created what became the Ultima Series, which remains today the longest-running RPG series in the history of gaming. But it is long overdue for me to return to my fantasy role-playing game roots and again help to redefine what a fantasy role-playing game can be. Since my original trilogy of trilogies is completed, we are building a brave new world to discover and explore, new challenges to conquer, new ethical parables to test your virtues. And I, as Lord British, will be with you in the game, and together we will forge this new world. I would like to invite you to join me and our team on the grand adventure of creating the next great role-playing game. As a modern reincarnation of what made your avatar's adventures so compelling for the last few decades, I invite you to join us in the creating of Shroud of the Avatar. Greetings. I'm Richard Garriott, known to some of you as Lord British, the creator of the Ultima Series. You know, without question, our industry continues to make amazing advancements in audio-visual presentations for games. In 30 short years, we've evolved from simple black and white stick figures, like those found in some of my earliest games, to the 3D cinematics of today, which rival the movie industry while remaining interactive and real-time. Yet there are also other areas that have not advanced as surely. Most modern RPGs, for example, have digital storytelling within them, but all a player generally needs to do is to speak to every NPC with a tag over their head, click on almost all the options provided, and then follow the arrows on the map until they reach their goals. Players of most modern RPGs have almost identical experiences to one another, just as the designers scripted it. I believe that my Ultima series did some great pioneering work in the creating of interactive literature, which allows players to discover the world at their own pace, to make impactful choices along the way, and to have rich, customized experiences unique to each player and their individual playstyle. With Shroud of the Avatar, we're going to be re-establishing role-playing elements of the RPG genre. We're not going to hold the hands of players through the entire game. Instead, we're going to be creating a large, interactive, and ever-changing world, then turning the player loose to define their own role. Still, we will be filling the world with our own crafted stories. It just means that we won't be providing the player a checklist of requirements that must be accomplished, nor automatic features to guide you to every solution. Players will explore, discover, think, and decide what path is right for them. A few months ago, as the team and I began to codify our plans for the new game, I published a small treatise called What is a Lord British Ultimate RPG? It's also posted on the Shroud of the Avatar site if you wish to read it. Some of the key ideals I outlined then, which we're adhering to in the creation of this new game, are as follows. First, we're creating a detailed, interactive world. If something looks like it should be interactive, it should respond to interaction. Second, we're creating physical game components which reflect the reality of the world. So even though this game will be a digital download, we've already begun to create things like cloth maps, runic texts, and other mysterious swag which we'll make available to players. Third, we're crafting logically constructed, internally consistent, socially relevant stories for the player to explore. This makes it easy to suspend your disbelief and feel that the world is a real place which we can explore together. Not in the treatise, but clearly of great importance, are things like crafting, player housing, and PvP combat, all of which we'll be outlining in subsequent videos and blogs. But finally, and most importantly, Shroud of the Avatar stars you. One of the greatest lessons of Ultima Online was that while we have strong ideas about what we would like to create, we are creating it for you. And so we need your involvement early and often to help us sort out the many details of a complex virtual world. Please join us on this adventure. Please consider backing our project. Together we will forge a new world. Thank you.